probably never have to haul a 30,000-pound aircraft. At least you know you can stop one.
Extreme power of Energizer Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery and high-tech devices. Energizer, keep going.
Now when the Saints come marching in, when the Saints go marching in, yes, I want to be in that number.
Visa makes it easier for NFL fans to get ready for game day. Life takes Visa.
Oh.
What do you think you're doing?
I was just looking for my lost kitty. Here, kitty. See?
Funny, it looked like you were gonna ambush us and snap our heads off.
Me? No. Well, maybe a little.
Uh-huh. Goodbye.
Wait! How did you even know I'd be here?
Oh, a guy at GameStop told me.
Games, gear, knowledge. GameStop. Power to the players.
And now welcome to the NFL on Fox, and welcome to this NFC matchup. Here in Irving, Texas, Texas Stadium, the St. Louis Rams 0-3 against the undefeated Dallas Cowboys. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Troy Aikman is coming right up for the Rams. The story's not too good. They're playing without Steven Jackson, who led the NFL in yards from scrimmage last year. That man, Mark Bulger, is playing with 2 broken ribs behind a makeshift offensive line, and Brian Leonard is making his first NFL start at running back. This is Troy Aikman, and Troy, for Dallas's side, you talk offense, man, everything is clicking for them right now.
Well, it really is. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys right now are arguably the hottest team in the NFL, certainly in the NFC. Offensively, they've done it all. They've got a lot of weapons, there's no question about that, but the guy pulling the trigger right now, Tony Romo, is really the one making it all happen. I mean, this guy is off to as good a start in the history of the National Football League, and so therefore you look at the St. Louis Rams and you say, well, what do they have to do in order to really make it competitive? And the answer to that is they got to score some points. I know the defense has to do a pretty good job of slowing down this Cowboys offense, but for the Rams, they've always been about offense. They need to be about offense today. They've not scored many points here in the first 3 games of the season, and obviously that's going to come down to Mark Bulger with, as you said, Steven Jackson not playing today.
Yeah, and get some protection for Bulger and go down the field and try and stretch out this defense. We'll take a break, come back, have the opening kickoff. Dallas trying to stay undefeated. Rams trying for their first win. It is business time. Next in Dallas.
You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time.
Ooh, it's business. It's business time.
You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD and presented by DirecTV.
The world's largest Halloween party at the Louisville Zoo. It's the sweet place to be seen.
It's S&K's money-saving fall wardrobe sale going on right now at an S&K store near you. Choose any Kilburn & Finch or Vanetti suit for $149.99 and get a second suit absolutely free. 2 suits for just $149.99. Get 3 Kilburn & Finch dress shirts and 3 ties, all for only $99.96. Choose from select Stacey Adams shoes, now just $49.99. The fall wardrobe sale going on now. S&K always saves you more. That's the S&K advantage. Better quality, better service, better prices.
Presenting the 263 horsepower Lincoln MKZ, rated highest in initial quality according to J.D. Power and Associates. Now joined by the fastest-selling luxury crossover, the Lincoln MKX, with its award-winning safety and panoramic Vista roof. Reach higher, and you're destined to reach the top. Now drive the innovative Lincoln MKX for $369 a month.
Fall in love with melty cheese. Taco Bell's new Cheesy Beefy Melt. To get seasoned beef, melty, and even more glorious melty cheese, think outside the bun.
Introducing the Chase Freedom Credit Card, now with triple rewards where you spend the most. So if it's gas stations and coffee shops one month, and the next month it's grocery stores, the gym, and department stores, Chase Freedom is the only credit card that adjusts as your everyday spending changes and gives you triple bonus rewards automatically. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
When you have a family, it's always a good time to buy.
It's a great move-up market.
In this market, there's a lot of options.
The interest rates are low.
It didn't make sense for us to spend the same amount of money renting something when we could own it.
Working with a realtor took all the guesswork out.
This is the best market in years in terms of choice.
Interest rates are at historic lows. Home choices have increased and prices are favorable. Every market's different. Call a realtor today.
If we didn't buy now, we would have missed the opportunity on this home.
Yeah.
Vengeance has never been so beautiful. Heavenly Sword. Rated T for Teen. Only on PlayStation 3.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back. Opening kickoff is just literally seconds away. The centerpiece of this Dallas Cowboys offense. Tony Romo getting some last-minute instructions from his offensive coordinator, Jason Garrett.
Make sure you have a game plan, right? Have a game plan. Got a seat in your feet, right? Pump in and go out, or just stay down the middle, down the backs. Obviously on top of the different pressure looks. Be clear with the outside guys what we're doing now. Okay, be clear. Any hand signal that we need, one way or another. Just make sure you communicate that at the line of scrimmage.
Nice of both Jason and Tony to let us eavesdrop on that conversation, and that is turning into quite a pairing. Tony Romo on the field and Jason Garrett on the sideline directing this offense. Meanwhile, the lineup notes: first career start for Brian Leonard. He starts in place of the terrific Steven Jackson, who might be regarded as the second best back in the entire NFL. And the broken ribs has certainly been a focus for Mark Bulger, and he has the unenviable task of facing this defense. As you see, both Greg Ellis and Terrence Newman will be involved in today's game. Bulger, when the Rams have it, behind a makeshift offensive line against a good defense. Cowboys will start with a football, and they'll start at their 20 as Wilkins booms it through the back of the end zone. So now here we go. Dallas with their 116 points scored. Since 1970, only the Rams of 2000 scored more points in the first 3 games, and Tony Romo I mean, this is a dream start for this guy in his first full year as the man here in Dallas.
Yeah, and I said it for Tony Romo coming into this year that I really felt that it was going to be important for him to get off to a good start early in the season, and he has certainly done that. I mean, when you think about a guy who has yet to be signed to a long-term contract, obviously a lot of pressure on him coming into this season, but he has answered the bell.
Romo's going to start with a throw, and he hits his tight end Jason Witten. Chavis with a tackle, a gain of 8, and this, Troy, is an aggressive style offense. Jason Garrett is an aggressive play caller, and coming off a more old school approach by Bill Parcells, Garrett has provided this offense with an attack that they really love to run.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the players respond to what it is that Jason Garrett is calling. And, you know, I don't want to say that Bill Parcells called a conservative game, but yet he didn't open it up the way in which they're running this offense down. The biggest difference, as we just saw, is the number of times they're throwing on first down.
On second and short, Julius Jones gets it, and he goes nowhere. Right in the middle of it, Brandon Chiller, and it's going to be 3rd down and short. 3rd down and 2. Chiller made the play. He's the strong side linebacker for the Rams, who check into this game with the 7th best defense in the NFL. That's statistically speaking. But a big part of it is that teams aren't throwing the ball against them much because they've really been able to run it with no issue.
Yeah, I agree. I think their ranking defensively is very misleading because, as you said, teams are not throwing the ball against them. 2 of the 3 teams they played, Joe, have rushed for over 180 yards against them.
3rd down and a couple, and that's Witherspoon making a play, and a gain of only 1 to bring up 4th down. Julius Jones carried it, and Will Witherspoon made the play. He's the middle linebacker. A gain of 1, it's 4th down.
And if there was one matchup in this game that you would say is a pretty good matchup, Cowboys offensively against the Rams defensively, is that the Rams have been very good on 3rd down. The Cowboys, on the other hand, as good as they have been offensively, they have struggled on 3rd down. Good stop there for the Rams.
Rams made a trade with Kansas City, brought in Dante Hall to make a difference on their special teams, and that hasn't translated yet. McBriar hits it. Hall pulls it in. And now we'll show his moves. He is not a big guy. A little-bodied kick returner. Only 5'8", 187, and a good return of 14 yards, his longest of this young season. Let's go down to the field and Pam Oliver. Pam.
Well, Joe, a rare thing occurred at the Rams team meeting last night. 14-year veteran Isaac Bruce, the reluctant superstar, actually addressed the team. I am told that his words were, let's not play with any excuses. Let's play like the Rams of old. Mark Bulger, who's been with the team for 7 years, said, and the whole time he's been there, Bruce has never addressed the team, but the gesture and his words meant something, and they were very inspiring.
Thanks, Pam. Trying to back up what was his guarantee on his radio show during the week that the Rams would win this game. Delayed handoff to Leonard, and he picks up 4. Ryan Leonard is an interesting story. A guy who, while he was in Rutgers, 3 years the tailback, has the school record for receptions, points, all-purpose yardage, and then was really a selfless leader on that team when he shifted to fullback as a senior to make room for Ray Rice, who took over tailback.
And he wasn't just a fullback in name. I mean, he was also a lead blocker. In fact, he was doing some of that even last week.
2nd down and 6. Bulger with time, and the throw a little behind Bennett. It's 3rd down.
You know, that's the problem right now for the St. Louis Rams offense, is that, you know, you take a look at Drew Bennett and then them not being on the same page. And a big reason for that is because Drew Bennett was brought in, and in week 1 he had a quad injury, and so he hasn't even run a full speed route in practice since week 1. And Mark Bulger, who could really use him, has yet to really get on the same page.
And whatever miscommunication was there just cost the Rams a timeout. Bennett came on the field into the huddle late. Play clock winding down. Timeout, St. Louis.
I'm on the 415.
Let's see what kind of plane you'll be on today.
Step over there and spin that wheel. Come on.
Come on, big plane.
Woo, big plane, big plane, big plane. Big plane, big plane, big plane. No. Small plane.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
Fall in love with melty cheese. Taco Bell's new Cheesy Beefy Melt. To get seasoned beef, cool sour cream, melty, and even more glorious melty cheese, think outside the bun.
On October 9th.
Oh, I'm building something.
Well, I hope it's a barbershop.
Bring home the comedy that's laugh out loud funny.
Oh, yeah!
Steve Carell, Morgan Freeman, Evan Almighty. On DVD and HD DVD October 9th.
The Ford F-150 is equipped with vented disc brakes, standard on all four wheels. They're vented so they stay cooler, perform better, and maximize stopping power. So even though you'll probably never have to haul a 30,000-pound aircraft, at least you know you can stop one.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines' convenient nonstop flights, it's like having your own company plane.
3rd down and 6 for St. Louis. Had to use a timeout with Drew Bennett on the sideline instead of the huddle. There's Scott Linehan, second-year head coach. His team finished the season last year really well. And out of the gate here, they've stumbled. Injury has played a large part of it. 3rd and 6. Can the Rams protect Bulger? There's Holt with a catch, working on Henry. 1st down. Gain of 11 and a pinpoint throw from Mark Bulger. Here's the huddle where Bulger, who is to the right, he's number 7 on Troy's numbering scheme there, looked and said, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. And that's because Drew Bennett was on the sideline and Dante Hall said, hey, Drew, you're needed.
And you saw Mark Bulger wasn't real pleased with having to use a timeout for that reason.
From the Dallas 49, here's Leonard, and he goes nowhere. Aiken Adele was in there, and he had help. A loss of 1, Chris Canty. One of the defensive ends was closed down on that play as well.
Well, I know with the Rams coming into this game, they're going to have a hard time running the football against this defensive front for the Dallas Cowboys. They're a very big, physical group. I know last week the Rams were committed to running the football with Steven Jackson. Trying to do that with Brian Leonard may prove costly. There's no question they're going to have to throw the ball and get it down the field to move the ball today.
Bulger, time running out, down he goes in the arms of DeMarcus Ware.
And DeMarcus Ware, knowing the problems that the Rams have on the offensive line, here he's going against Goldberg, making his 2nd start at right tackle, just comes underneath the block. And initially it looked like Bulger had time to get the ball out of his hands. I mean, this offense, a lot like the Dallas Cowboys offense, based on the quarterback getting the ball out. Bulger just couldn't find anybody open.
Minor and McMichael in the backfield at the start of the play. Bulger throws out of the reach of Torrey Holt. 4th down. Let's go for a game break and check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Joe, just want to let you know Raiders and Dolphins haven't gotten underway yet. Lightning delay going on in Miami. Players taken off the field during pregame warmups. Jimmy and I have a bet. Will you use It's Raining Again by Supertramp or Here Comes the Rain Again by Eurythmics, Joe?
I would use Blame It on the Rain by Milli Vanilli, Kurt, but thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. 4th down and a punt from Donnie Jones. Got to blame it on something, Kurt. Blame it on the rain. Patrick Crayton, fair catch at the 10. Each side has had a possession. Now Bulger will watch as Tony Romo heads back to the field.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, here's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
That's cold. We went around swapping people's vehicles for 1 week. We didn't tell them we were from Ford. We told them it was market research.
My name is Brenda, and I came to swap my Toyota Camry for a Ford Fusion. Bye! Well, I love the grille and the lights. If I had to use one word to describe the Ford Fusion, I would say that it's stylish. I really like it. It's really elegant inside. But then again, it's also sporty from the outside, so I think it really reflects the type of person that I am.
Swap your ride. Visit a Ford dealer or go to FordChallenge.com.
My name's K. Timothy Bulger. I'm a search and rescue loadmaster on HC-130s from Timberlake, South Dakota. You know, coming from a small town and 400 people in my town, you know, most expensive thing I ever drove was probably a tractor, you know, $30,000 maybe. Now I'm flying on a, you know, multi-million-dollar aircraft. You know, the pilot has his front, but everything from the back while we're flying is my house.
See more videos at DoSomethingAmazing.com. Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
We'll get a little more in depth into what's happened on the offensive line for St. Louis next time they have the ball, but they've got bodies moving all over the place, and because of that lack of consistency and cohesion against a 3-4 defense, they are really going to have their hands full today.
Yeah, they've yet to finish a game with the same 5 offensive linemen that started the game. It's hard to be consistent offensively when you have so much change in that offensive line group.
From the 11, second possession for the Cowboys, and Romo's going to air it out. T.O., the intended receiver, off his hands. Incomplete, and then a spill after the play. Jonathan Wade, a rookie, and a guy who the Rams picked up with their 3rd-round pick from Tennessee, was out there. And Terrell Owens, I mean, he's like a different guy. They're moving him all over the offensive formation, and effort-wise and how much he's buying into this system, he's been great.
Yeah, I really think the reason for that, Joe, is that for the first time in his career, he knows that there is a real effort in trying to get the ball into his hands. Jason Garrett, the first-year offensive coordinator, is moving him around, and he knows if he gets single coverage, most of the time the ball's coming in his direction.
He gets single coverage here, working on Bartell, and he's got a first down. Ron Bartell is a big cornerback, 6'1", 205, but Terrell Owens is even bigger, and that mismatch working on Bartell, that was an easy pitch and catch.
Well, it is, and because Terrell Owens has had so much success with big plays, obviously the chore with Terrell Owens is always trying to get him on the ground after he gets the ball into his hands, but he has created so many big plays this year already. You see the respect he got with the cushion.
Julius Jones gets it on first down, and Jones picks up 2.
You mentioned Ron Bartell, and I mean the issues that they, we focus on the offensive side of the ball with the offensive line, Steven Jackson, Mark Bulger playing with broken ribs, and then on the defensive side of the ball, they've been out without a number of players as well, including their 2 starting corners, and that doesn't bode well when you're talking about going up against such an explosive offense like they are here today.
Keir Brown will come back after this game. He's been suspended for the first 4. And Ty Hill maybe next week. A blitz from the Rams. Chavis gets home. And a sack of Tony Romo, a loss of 8. Crowd didn't exactly like the celebration, but it brings up 3rd down and forever.
Well, and that's what they're going to have to do. They got to bring pressure and not allow Tony Romo to get comfortable in the pocket. Now, he came off the slot to Tony Romo's front side, and Tony has to see that. There have been times this year where he has not seen the blitz. He's gotten away with it because he is so elusive. That time he just didn't see it at all, and Chavis was able to make the play.
Terrell Owens and Lenny Walls lined up across from each other on 3rd down and 16. Romo looking for somewhere high and through the hands of Terrell Owens. Walls celebrates, but that one was a near perfect throw, and Terrell Owens could not get his hands around it.
It was a great coverage call by Jim Haslett. They're in 2-man. They got man underneath with Lenny Walls. He covers them very, very well, but this is what Tony Romo's capable of doing, putting a ball where only his guy can make the play. Generally, coverage would take you off of Terrell Owens on that route, But Romo has such confidence in his ability to put it where he needs to, and also confidence in Terrell Owens, that they still could have very easily have had the completion.
McBriar hits his second. It's a good one. Booming punt for Dante Hall from inside the 25. Crosses the 30 and takes a seat at the 32. Ladouceur, the long snapper, down to make the tackle. Good throw from Romo through the hands of Terrell Owens, and the Rams have the ball for the second time. No score in Dallas.
The Ford F-150 has massive lower front control arms and rear shock absorbers mounted outside the frame rails, giving it the highest available payload in its class, and giving you unbelievable handling and control. Now that's forward thinking.
Extreme power of Energizer Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery and high-tech devices. Energizer, keep going.
Turn right.
The Baxters use their Verizon Wireless Navigator every weekend. And so do their kids. Free to get GPS turn-by-turn directions without limits, they easily find all kinds of places. No one's ever lost, and no one ever finds out.
What's going on? Nothing.
Because with a Verizon Wireless Premium plan, unlimited navigation, messaging, access to videos, and more are all included. Sign your family up today, and when you buy this Crazer, you can get 3 razors free. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by State Farm. Great service, great rates. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. By TGI Fridays Restaurants, where the 3-course menu is back. Give me more Fridays. And by the Ford F-150. Built Ford tough.
Another crack at it for the Rams. We talked about the changes up front. The Rams hope to come into the season with Romberg at center. He's there. So Richie Incognito at right guard. He's out with an ankle. Maybe next week he'll be back. Setterstrom lost last week. Alex Barron at right tackle with Orlando Pace at left. Pace is injured for the rest of the year, and Alex Barron is at left tackle. That's Leonard hitting the hole hard and picking up 8 out to the 40-yard line.
And when you watch Brian Leonard, that's really what you're going to see out of him. I mean, he's not as shifty as what Steven Jackson is, and he's not even as big a power runner as what Steven Jackson is, but he is pretty good at going downhill. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Brian Leonard trying to outrun anybody to the outside, particularly against this defense. But going straight ahead, he's pretty effective, and he sure was on that last play.
2nd down and 2. Throw from Bulger, sideline. Holt, he dropped the football. That's a live ball, and Holt has a first down by getting on his own fumble. Jack Reeves was out there, and Holt trying to do a little extra after the catch, lost the handle.
Yeah, trying to get a little extra yardage even after he had been able to pick up the first down. And, you know, Torrey Holt, to me, has always been a great wide receiver in this league, and because he does all the things right and really doesn't focus a lot of attention on himself, we tend to forget about him when you start naming the best wide receivers in this game. I think Torrey Holt's spectacular.
Leonard gets a quick snap count, makes a little move in the hole, and carries a couple of tacklers to the 49 of Dallas. A gain of 8 again.
Yeah, it's interesting what they're doing right now with Brian Leonard, because as I said, this is really what he does best. But then I think that combined with the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are awfully fast, running sideline to sideline, that those two things combined are why you want to then attack them into the middle and get as much yards as you can going forward.
Been good on first down so far in their 2 possessions. 2nd and 2. Bulger to McMichael, the tight end. Nifty little play, and McMichael to the 44. A gain of 4 and another first down for the Rams, as they try more and more to get Randy McMichael infused into this offense.
Yeah, and watch Randy McMichael right here. He's going to be engaged with Anthony Spencer, the rookie outside linebacker, and Spencer thinks that McMichael's blocking him, and then he lets him go by. And that's why he was able to get open on that slip screen and pick up the first down. You know, Randy McMichael, a key acquisition from Miami. They're hoping to get him a little more involved than what he has been in the first 3 weeks.
This is out of the reach of McMichael, and McMichael's on that short little list of a couple of guys that they added who have not been a factor yet. The other's Bennett with a thigh injury. Add those two weapons to Holt, Isaac Bruce, Steven Jackson, a Pro Bowl quarterback, and Mark Bulger. That's the reason why some people pick the Rams as a dark horse in the NFC.
That's right, and I think in all fairness to Scott Linehan and this offensive group has been what has happened in the offensive line. Randy McMichael hasn't been able to be as big a part in the passing game because he's having to be used more as a blocker to help out with this offensive line, and they're not utilizing him the way that they had hoped.
This will be interesting to see which side it's on. It certainly looked like Spears came across early. Walt Anderson is our referee.
False start, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Adam Goldberg is saying the guy across from me came before I moved, which was a rule change about 4 or 5 years ago.
And that's the same point that Scott Linehan's arguing as well. And you can see it. There's no question. I think that's a bad call there by the officials. Marcus Spears started to come out of his stance, and he's what drew Adam Goldberg out of his.
2nd and 15. That's Leonard in motion. Bulger steps up, goes for Holt, and overthrows. Let's go to Kurt for a game break.
All right, Joe, to keep you updated on the big league playoff picture, Mets, this certainly won't help their cause as they're in a fight with the Phillies and Padres. 3 teams fighting for the last 2 spots. Philadelphia's Cody Ross with the double that scores 2, and then on the throw to third, Ross gets up. He scores. Marlins with an early 4-0 lead. We'll keep you updated. Back to Joe, Troy, and Pam.
Thank you, Kurt. 3rd and 15 here. Delayed handoff to Minor. He gets nothing. DeMarcus Ware making the play coming off a 2-sack game in Chicago, and he's already stepped up on both defensive series for Dallas.
I'm a little surprised by that call offensively on 3rd and 15. You just wonder, you know, obviously converting 3rd and 15 isn't real good, but you have a better chance trying to force the ball, throw the ball down the field. I just wonder if knowing that Dallas was coming after him, if they just don't want to take any unnecessary hits on Mark Bulger.
That was the case last week against the Buccaneers. Linehan saying, yeah, we threw it around a lot against San Francisco, and Bulger almost didn't make it back to the locker room. Jones hits it, takes a bounce, and will go into the end zone. Dallas will get it, their 3rd possession. 2nd time they'll start at their own 20. No score at Texas Stadium.
The Ford F-150 is equipped with vented disc brakes, standard on all 4 wheels. They're vented so they stay cooler, perform better, and maximize stopping power. So even though you'll probably never have to haul a 30,000-pound aircraft, at least you know you can stop one.
Introducing the revolutionary Kuro.
No one comes into our house and pushes us around. Whose house is this? Mucus's house!
When mucus huddles in your chest, the congestion doesn't quit.
Whose house? Mucus's house!
That's why there's Mucinex. Mucinex is specially made to break up mucus that causes congestion.
Not now! It's a blowout!
And only Mucinex lasts for 12 hours.
Can we play at your house?
Mucinex in, mucus out.
The forces that made them fantastic will give rise.
Your encounter with a surfer could cause you to switch powers.
Come on! To a new kind of adventure. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Own it Tuesday.
Oh, that is cool.
A lot of defense so far in this first quarter. 10+ minutes off the clock, and a look at that offensive line for St. Louis. And now a 3 tight end set for the Cowboys, starting at their own 20. Marion Barber in the game for the first time today, and he gets it. He infuses some life in this offense. Fans love to watch him run it, and right on cue, he loses half a yard.
You mentioned the Cowboys going to a 3 tight end set on this play. They've run it a couple of times on their first 2 possessions, but it's the first time this year they've shown a 3 tight end look with all of them in the game. And the reason that they're doing it is they feel that there's some things that they may be able to get out of this personnel grouping. And then more importantly, it's just something else that these defenses are going to look at and try to see, okay, well, what is Dallas doing out of these different personnel groupings? They deploy personnel as good as anybody in the league right now.
Good break by Leonard off the snap. Protection for Romo, and a nice catch by Terrell Owens. Wrestled out of bounds after a gain of 7. Let's go for a game break. Kurt Menefee.
Well, it's a record-breaking game break, Joe Buck. Brett Favre does it. Greg Jennings, 16 yards on the score. Number 421 of Favre's career, most in the history of the National Football League. Joe, Troy, and Pam.
All right, Kurt, thank you. So somewhere John Madden and Frank Caliendo are celebrating, and 421 career touchdown passes, the record for Favre, and you can check out more on that. Another news around the league at foxsports.com or NFL.com.
Best thing about that is he celebrated that one the same way he celebrated the very first one he ever threw.
3rd down and 3, and that's Owens, a juggle, a roll forward, and a first down. The Rams are going to want to see a replay of that. They're calling for it on the sideline as some of the defensive players thought Owens dropped it.
Yeah, well, here's Terrell Owens going in motion, and then he's going to circle back right over the ball and then hook it up. They run a crossing route, and it looked like it hit the ground. Initially, I thought that he got his hands underneath it and was able to make the catch, but right here, it hits the ground.
And the Rams are going to challenge it. Linehan was waiting for somebody upstairs to see a replay coming off the television feed, and Linehan throws the challenge flag.
You know, and I'll tell you, Joe, I really think the league needs to...
St. Louis is challenging the ruling on the field of a catch.
I think the league needs to somehow be able to slow down these offensive units that want to hurry up and get to the ball and get it snapped. I think there should be time for these teams to be able to review the tape and know whether or not they want to challenge a call.
Walt Anderson is looking at that under the hood. We'll get the call when we come back.
Yeah, Coach, part of the Coors Light Frost brewing process occurs at 34 degrees. Does that give it an edge over other beers?
You know, if you can get up to 33 or certainly 34, then you are substantially ahead of your opponent.
Coach, don't you mean down to 33 or 34 degrees?
Frost brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, this guy's taking all our Coors Light, and we don't know how to stop him.
If you don't have a guy on him, he'll hurt you bad. I mean, real bad.
I'm on him.
Look, a cat. Oh, he's stuck. Get here. Hello, 911?
Ma'am, I don't know any more than you do.
Authorities believe it's an 8-year-old tabby cat. Things can get complicated.
As part of my platform, I will build a platform.
Cat rescue in progress.
But when it comes to your money, ING is making it easier.
Okay, show's over, folks.
See why it's easier on the bench. Ask your financial professional about ING. Your future made easier.
Watch out, Fridays. This is one of those tucking in the napkin, ordering a drink before my jeans even hit the booth kind of nights. So let's jar my taste buds out of hibernation with something I've never tried before. Something with one or preferably more of the following adjectives: fire grilled, crusted, marinated, glazed. 3 courses totally up to me for just $12.99. Friday's 3-course menu is back, and so am I. Give me more Fridays.
This is Jason Witten. You don't have to be a cowboy to make a difference. Volunteer at UnitedWay.org. A little you goes a long way.
I thought when we were going to break, Troy, you were going to take it a different way and say that, you know, these teams are reliant on us as a network, whatever the network may be, to show the replay so they can see whether they should check.
After reviewing the play, the receiver did not have control of the ball and he hit the ground. The pass is incomplete. St. Louis will not be charged with a timeout.
So it's 4th down.
Please put 3:24 on the game clock.
And in other words, what I'm saying is if we don't show that replay for whatever reason, the Rams don't see it in the booth and don't radio down to Linehan to throw the red flag.
That's right, and so there's some pressure on us in order to show those replays, and then you've got the opposing team's offense that is trying to get to the line knowing it's a questionable call and get the ball snapped. And you know, like a lot of the things that go on, I think that one can get cleaned up a little bit better.
Manipulating the system, like a lot of things.
It's another, it's not how I interpreted it. You know,
right.
It's not. I misinterpreted the rules.
McBriar with his 3rd punt. Dante Hall from about the 28.5 has made 74 moves and gone 3 yards. Those big legs were churning on that little body, but he didn't go anywhere. Rams have it for the 3rd time. Still no score in Dallas.
Watch out, Fridays. This is one of those tucking in the napkin, ordering a drink before my jeans even hit the booth kind of nights. So let's jar my taste buds out of hibernation with something I've never tried before. Something with one or preferably more of the following adjectives: fire grilled, crusted, marinated, glazed. 3 courses totally up to me for just $12.99. Friday's 3-course menu is back, and so am I. Give me more Fridays.
We have been testing the Chic Quattro Titanium to see if it really is of the easy. 3, 2, 1.
With 4 advanced blades, Quattro Titanium stays sharp to give you a close, smooth shave with less irritation.
Chic Quattro Titanium.
Interception. The commission of the More Taste League. Bingo. You fellows have gotten your hands on some non-sanctioned light beer?
There was a big, shiny display.
The league only recognizes light beer with more taste and the scant 3.2 grams of carbs. That's the yin and the yang, the bottom, the bing of light beer. Yes.
So which beers are league approved?
Beer, singular, Miller Lite.
Commission's wise.
Amen!
The official beer of the More Taste League, Miller Lite. Good call. We're sounding the alarm. The producers of American Idol strike again. Join the search for the next great American band. Premiering Friday, October 19th on Fox.
Rams have done a nice job defensively against this Dallas offense, which came in rolling. A look ahead to next week. Lions and Redskins, Seahawks and Steelers, a couple of good matchups. The Cardinals are back in St. Louis against the Rams, and then late, it's a single-header weekend. Tampa Bay at Indianapolis. 3rd possession now for St. Louis, and it starts at their own 31. Play action, pressure. Ratliff doesn't get there, and Bulger's going to air it out for Holt, and Henry broke it up. And Henry is banged up.
Well, I know in talking with Mark Bulger, he really felt that if he could get some protection, that they could make some plays down the field. Jay Ratliff for the Cowboys just goes right by Romberg to make Bulger step up. Now on the back end, Henry's the one who went up for the ball as opposed to Torrey Holt. If Torrey Holt was able to go up, he may have a chance on making a play. Anthony Henry, who has been outstanding this year, this could be a big injury if he's unable to go.
He's had back-to-back 2 interception games. He leads the NFL with his 4. Returned his 2nd one for a touchdown last week in Chicago, and he's having trouble getting off the field. I don't know if we're going to break or not, Troy, but I'll ask you what it's like. And I don't know that you ever really had to go through it here in Dallas over your years in your Hall of Fame career, but playing behind a line like Mark Bulger is having to play behind, what that does to a quarterback's mind when you've got guys all out of position against a 3-4 style defense. You've got broken ribs. It's got to be at least disconcerting that you're standing back there with guys ready to tee off.
Well, there's no doubt, and you get a little nervous when bodies start getting around you because you don't want to take a hit anywhere in the chest area. And I know that when you've got a deeper ball called, knowing you've got to hold on to it a little bit longer, that's when there's a little bit of angst, wondering whether or not your offensive line is going to hold up. Now, Bulger does a good job of avoiding the rush there and trying to make a play down the field. You know, you go back to Anthony Henry and what his status is going to be. Remember, Terrence Newman, who has yet to start a game. He's been playing primarily nickel downs both last week and then today. He's not 100% either.
So he comes in at right corner. Across from Torrey Holt on 2nd and 10, and a handoff is to Leonard. Leonard picks up 2. 3rd down and long coming up for St. Louis, and DeMarcus Ware has been all over the field here early, and there's Terrence Newman. Now, they have a lot of playmakers on this Dallas defense. He's one of them. And this is the first 2 games with a partially torn right plantar fascia. Now is dealing with patella tendonitis in his right knee. 3rd and 8. Bulger with time, fires high for Torrey Holt. Bulger had plenty of time and misfired to Torrey Holt, who made a move, was open. And that's 4 straight incompletions for Mark Bulger.
Yeah, and this just isn't the Mark Bulger that we've gotten accustomed to seeing in previous years. He wasn't real productive in preseason. He's not been overly productive here in the first 3.5 ball games. And we've seen him already here today miss some throws that he just typically does not miss. I've got to believe that part of that is his health.
Jones hits it. Terrence Newman is going to return his first punt of the season. Instead, he lets it go over his head, and look where this thing's going to end up. All the way to the 1-yard line. What a punt, as it turns out, by Donnie Jones. 66 yards to pin the Cowboys back a yard away from their own end zone. Meanwhile, the Cowboys in their 3-0 start, 14th time they've done it in team history, and the first time they've done it since 1999. The Cowboys have made the playoffs in each of their previous 13 seasons with a 3-0 start. The last 3 times with you, Troy, as quarterback, and it's such a luxury to get out of the gate. Well, there's the last time it happened, 1999.
Well, just by simple mathematics, I mean, when you get off to a slow start, it's hard to overcome. When you get off to a great start, it affords you some room on the back end.
The Barber just does not go down. I mean, he is so impressive. 1 hit, 2 hits, whatever, and he picks up 7 when he got hit at the line of scrimmage.
He really energizes this entire offensive unit. He gives them so much energy. Even the crowd. I mean, when the crowd sees Marion Barber come onto the field, I mean, they even start anticipating something big, because generally that's what happens. Now, Marion Barber's carries have increased each week over the first 3 games, while Julius Jones's carries have decreased. I don't think that's coincidental.
2nd and 3. They give to Barber again. And Marion Barber has enough for a Dallas first down. I mean, there's 2 runs there. Cowboys are pinned at their own 1. You hand it off to Barber twice, and he's got 11 yards.
Yeah, and he's doing it behind what is the biggest offensive line in football. I mean, this group up front is absolutely massive, and so you combine Marion Barber and his physical running style behind an offensive line that also likes to come off the ball and pound people. I mean, that's a pretty good combination.
Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Still no score in Dallas. Over the middle, Crayton. Brought down by Witherspoon after Patrick had picked up 14.
You know, Crayton's been able to get a lot of playing time because of the injury to Terry Glenn. And Patrick Crayton is at his best when he's in that slot position, as we saw him right there. He's not an overly fast guy, but he's got a great feel for the underneath routes and finding the holes within that defense. And one of the reasons why he's so good at it is that he was actually a quarterback in college. And so he has a good understanding of what it is that the quarterback wants on those routes. And he and Tony Romo have developed quite a chemistry.
Could be the final play of this first quarter. Romo going to air it out. Downfield, it's picked off. Intercepted by Otagwe. And the safety making a move into the open field, and in essence was brought down by his teammate. Bartell knocked him down. The interception by Romo, and the Rams will take over at the Dallas 25. That's the final play of the first quarter. Romo throws the interception, his third of the year. No score in Dallas.
If you could get protection like this for the same price as this, why wouldn't you?
It's the same with car insurance. If you can get State Farm's unbeatable good neighbor protection for the same or less than the other guys, why wouldn't you? With discounts up to 40%, you could. Get a quote and start saving today.
We gotta talk.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
The safest accident is the one that never happens. The 2008 Lexus RX with 14 actively safe features. Learn more at activelysafe.com.
Back at Big Hit Radio 630. Good morning. It's 6:30 a.m. on a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine.
630 ways to win the lottery tonight at 6:30.
Got your numbers? You never know when opportunity will knock. Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 from the Kentucky Lottery. Somebody's gonna win. Might as well be you.
Are you game for an all-new Fox Thursday? The only place that'll get your adrenaline pumping. First, after a nationwide search, it's time to meet the new 5th grade class.
Are you ready to meet our new class?
An all-new Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader event. Then it's the show that's changing lives with life-changing money.
I can send you back to the sewer with $1 million.
Don't forget the lyrics. An all-new Thursday starts at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Are you game?
You can't script October. Every fall, the story changes. The ALCS begins October 12th on Fox.
Otagwe gives the Rams their first defensive interception of the season, and then with a run back, gives St. Louis great field position, a 31-yard return after the pick. And the Rams have it at the Dallas 26. St. Louis trying to prove here today that yet again the NFL is hard to figure weekend after weekend. This is Holt, and out of bounds, and what a hit at the end of that play by Ken Hamlin.
Yeah, you wonder if they could almost get him with a hit on a defenseless receiver. He leads with his head right there, and it was helmet to helmet. I was fully expecting to see a flag on that play.
Might not get a flag, but he may be staring at a fine for that. Either way, it's 2nd down and 10. And the Rams are approaching an area where offensively they have really struggled. The red zone.
Been matching Terrence Newman up with Torrey Holt.
Pressure off the edge from Ware. It's going to be a hold against St. Louis. Incomplete. Newman was out there in coverage. Got a little shove in the back, but there's a hold against the Rams.
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask, number 70. Offense. 15-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Alex Barron was helpless against DeMarcus Ware coming off the edge.
Yeah, but these things, you just can't do these things. I mean, he's got his hand fully engaged in the DeMarcus Ware's face mask, and you know, now you're getting backed up 15 yards, and that's been the problem with the St. Louis Rams. The worst red zone offense in the National Football League. And when you get a golden opportunity, as they did on that interception, and they're down in there pretty good, and now they're hoping that they can just come away with a field goal based on where they're located on the field.
Yeah, they're out of field goal range at the moment. 2nd down and 25. Handoff is to Leonard. Nowhere to go. Making the most out of it. Picks up a yard. I mean, this is unlike any Rams offense that fans are used to over the last 5 years. They are closed down and trying their best just to get through, it looks like. And they're not airing it out, rarely throwing downfield. It's 3rd and 23.
You know, and watching the Rams over the first 3 games, and then again here today, it just, unlike in the past, you kind of knew what they were about. And right now, you can tell that they just haven't yet figured out what it is that they're going to be good at.
3rd and 23. Quick throw, Bruce. Isaac Bruce making a move and dragged down with a first down for St. Louis. A quick hitter and a gain of 24 yards. First down, Rams.
Yeah, and this is something that, you know, you always got to be aware of when you're going against the St. Louis Rams. You get the ball into Bruce's hands, and this is what they've been so good at over the course of their careers. Both he and Torrey Holt is getting vertical and then getting the ball in their hands with them on the move. I mean, that was well executed, a breakdown by Dallas, but better execution by the St. Louis Rams. Mark Bulger seeing the void.
So now here you go. 8 possessions in the red zone for St. Louis. Only 2 touchdowns this season. And they hand off to Leonard. Brian Leonard gets to the 10.
I tell you, that's a big 3rd down conversion there for the St. Louis Rams. Not only to keep this drive going with the opportunity of potentially coming away with a touchdown, but you know, if they are able to score a touchdown here, because of the struggles that they've had once they've gotten into the red zone, and then combining that with the fact that they're going up against a good Dallas Cowboys team, you know, this should give them a lot of confidence if they're able to capitalize.
Owens in at fullback. He blocks for Leonard, and Adele makes the play. No gain. Aiken Adele, who the Cowboys picked up before last season from Jacksonville, making the play. It's 3rd down and 5. Leonard comes out. Travis Minor checks in, along with McMichael, the big tight end, and Drew Bennett. All 6'5", 206 pounds. A blitz from Dallas. Bulger throws and out of the back of the end zone. Hamlin defending, Bennett receiving, incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, there wasn't much there for Mark Bulger trying to fit one in to Drew Bennett. I know that's disappointing, but you know, based on what happened on this drive and the way they got backed up, now at least the fact that they are coming away with a field goal is pretty good. But I know they're disappointed in not being able to come away with a touchdown, because eventually you can bet, as has been the case this year, the Cowboys offensively are going to get it going.
28-yard try by Wilkins, who blocks it. Pushed it wide right. He missed 2 last week. And this one just shoved out to the right. 28-yard try, no good. Still no score here in Dallas.
Nissan engineers know the backbone of any truck is its frame. That's why the Nissan Titan's frame is fully boxed. Unlike competitors' C frames that are prone to flexing, our box frame is the strongest truck frame we've ever built. Just one more reason, it's the Titan of trucks. The new 2008 full-size Nissan Titan. Now get up to $3,500 Nissan cashback or 1.9% APR financing.
Now when the Saints come marching in, when the Saints go marching in, yes, I want to be in that number.
Visa makes it easier for NFL fans to get ready for game day. Life takes Visa.
What's your strategy?
We have to play the very first day. We do?
Yes. Monopoly at McDonald's returns October 2nd. So whatever your strategy.
I rub Ron's head for luck.
Can I get some of that?
Yeah, get in there.
Get ready. October 2nd is coming soon.
We have been testing the Chic Quattro Titanium to see if it really is of the easy. 3, 2, 1.
With 4 advanced blades, Quattro Titanium stays sharp to give you a close, smooth shave with less irritation.
Chic Quattro Titanium.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Visa. Go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa. By Chic Quattro Titanium, power of 4 meets titanium. And by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
Cowboys dodged a bullet after the Otagwe interception, and Jeff Wilkins, who missed twice last week against the Buccaneers, is now thinking about that 28-yard miss. Romo throws and skips it out to Terrell Owens. Let's go back to the miss.
Yeah, take a look. The snap appeared to be just fine. And we'll see where the hold was, and was he able to get the laces turned. Sure enough, good snap. Didn't even have to turn the ball. Execution looked fine. And as you said, Joe, he just blocked it. I mean, it's a funny thing. And Wilkins, who's one of the best kickers, in the history of the game, is just going through a little bit of a struggle here over the last 3 weeks.
Julius Jones gets it on 2nd and 10. Hit the hole hard and gained 6. Trevor Johnson in on that tackle for the Rams. It's 3rd down. Rams defense has been very good, Troy, as you said earlier, on 3rd down, and so far Dallas 0 for 3 on 3rd down today.
And not only have they been good on 3rd down, they've just been good. And so here defensively, they're holding up their end as they have in some other games, and yet offensively they haven't been able to capitalize, and that's frustrating. I mean, holding the #1 scoring offense in the league to 0 points, here midway through the 2nd quarter.
3rd down and 4. Out of the shotgun, Romo fires, and the pass bobbled, caught. What an effort by Terrell Owens. Able to get control of the ball and tap his feet down before heading out of bounds.
Yeah, there was great concentration on his part. He's got control there, and looks like he got the right toe down as well. There's the left foot and right foot, sure enough. Great concentration on Terrell Owens' part. It looked like Otagwe had a chance to undercut that throw initially and may have had an interception.
That was the 820th career catch for Terrell Owens. He just passed Steve Largent for 13th on the all-time list. 1st down, Dallas. Romo trying to make something happen. He finds Witten, his tight end. To the St. Louis 44, a gain of 19.
That's out of that 3 tight end package we were talking a little bit earlier about. They got 1 receiver in the game, Terrell Owens. He runs a fly route. And now you've got Lenny Walls, a corner, covering Jason Witten. You would think that would favor the corner. Jason Witten is an outstanding wide receiver, tight end / tight end. But when all of a sudden you put a corner on him, you would think the advantage would then go to the St. Louis Rams. It didn't. Jason Witten running a good route and creating separation.
He's got 8 catches, Witten does, this season of 15 or more yards, and 13 now of his catches have been for 1st downs. Romo was brought down by Glover. Let's go for a baseball game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, Joe, normally not the most exciting play in baseball, but Philly fans like this. Chase Utley with a sac fly scoring Jimmy Rollins. They lead the Nationals 1-0. The Mets trail Florida 7-1 in the 2nd inning. If the Phillies win and the Mets lose, Phillies win the NL East. Back to Joe, Troy, and Pam.
How fitting that Rollins is the guy who scores the run, the guy who said that the Phillies were the team to beat in the division before the season. And now on 2nd down, Julius Jones brought down by Carricker, and a gain of 2 flags came in right at the snap.
It looked like that's going to be offsides on the St. Louis Rams a little early, getting off the ball.
It's against St. Louis. The question is, it was 2nd down and 5. Was it exactly 5? And if so, is it 1st down? And they're going to check the chains and make sure it is enough with a penalty for a fresh set.
Offside. Defense. Right defensive tackle. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That was Carricker who came in and made the play after getting across too early, and the 5 yards is enough for a 1st down.
Carricker, their first-round pick out of Nebraska, and a guy who's got a lot of upside. They're just trying to keep him from thinking so much and react, and that's really the dilemma that faces most all rookies, and he's going through some of that as well.
A steamy day down on that field. In and out of the sunlight are the Cowboys on offense. Julius Jones with a catch, a run, a first down.
Well, you're going to see the attention that Terrell Owens gets when he's running a route. Watch Will Witherspoon right here in the middle. Terrell Owens is going to come across. He's so concerned with trying to keep Terrell Owens from getting across that then you're going to see Julius Jones get in that void. And so sometimes we look at this and we say, well, what kind of impact is Terrell Owens making when he's not catching the ball? That's the impact that he's making. He opens things up for a lot of other people.
Play action to Julius Jones. Romo looking for somewhere to go with it. Throws, completes, Crayton. First and goal. And that's Tony Romo. He can slide and make plays better than so many quarterbacks in the NFL.
You know, in talking with Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator for the Rams yesterday, he said a lot of what the Cowboys do is really street ball once Romo gets outside the pocket. Right there, when Patrick Crayton went back out towards the sideline, all he was doing was reacting to Romo being outside the pocket. That's where they've gotten a lot of big plays this year.
First and goal. Julius Jones, touchdown, Dallas. Flag came in late.
Lord.
We missed the call, but it appears that the touchdown will stand. It was against St. Louis, and the extra point from Nick Folk. What a turnaround.
Well, yeah, you talk about momentum shifts. Wilkins misses the field goal attempt, and Dallas comes right down and gets a touchdown.
7-0, Cowboys lead it. The street ball part of it, Patrick Crayton set it up. Julius Jones knocked it in, and the Cowboys 3-0 lead it 7-0.
Let's see that arm.
You wouldn't make it in pro football, but you can dominate your fantasy league with Bcast. Get Fox Sports fantasy analysis, watch programming, and more. Only from Verizon Wireless.
Why don't you build me up, buttercup baby, just to let me down, mess me around, and you more than anyone, darling, you know that I have from the start. So build me up, buttercup, don't break.
Singing can reduce stress and add 15 years to your life. So live longer, retire stronger, never outlive your money.
Have a real meal for lunch. Come to KFC for any of our new $2.99 deals. World famous chicken, choice of a side, and a flaky biscuit. A real deal for lunch for just $2.99 at KFC.
Have you ever tried to break up with someone?
It's over. What are you talking about?
Who wouldn't let you?
Where have you been?
Ha! Ben Stiller.
She burned my passport.
I can sneak you back into California.
Scoot, I'm an American.
The Heartbreak Kid. Rated R. Starts Friday.
Just because you got a dirty secret doesn't mean everybody else has one.
I'm here to help you.
I have to lie to the FBI.
Is your idea of spending more time with your family?
Pull the trigger, do it!
You in New Orleans now, baby. You got to be doing something really wrong or really right.
K-ville, an all-new episode tomorrow at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Julius Jones just picked up his first touchdown of this season. Their touchdown guy has been Barber to this point. 7-0, the Cowboys lead, and Troy, like you, had Norv Turner to guide you as offensive coordinator. Tony Romo has Jason Garrett, your former backup, and that combination is striking fear in the hearts of defenses in the NFC.
They've developed a real rapport, very early in this relationship.
Takes a knee. It was a juggle, a catch by Terrell Owens that kept this drive alive. The recent one for the Cowboys, and Jones hit pay dirt at the end of it.
According to J.D. Power and Associates.
Miller Lite.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're all out.
Oh, just any light then.
Oh, how about a tall, frosty glass of Busted?
Commish.
Of the More Taste League, you got it.
But I
willingly risked your league status with this just any light beer business? Come on, Miller Lite's got more taste and half the carbs of Bud Light. You know?
Can't I beg for leniency or something?
Grant it. Come up and face the music.
Hands off the podium.
The official beer of the More Taste League, Miller Lite. Good call.
All right, freight. Well, you already love the reliability of the big brown truck, but let's say you're shipping something really big, or pallets of lots of little things. Now, wouldn't it be great if you could send any size shipment with the reliability and tracking you're used to with UPS? Hey, look, now you can. It's not just freight, it's UPS freight. Throw some mud flaps on here.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Dallas Cowboys come in with the most points scored in the NFL with 116 through 3 games. Terrell Owens is off to a terrific start, as are the Cowboys, leading here today and 3-0 in the NFC East. Bulger throws, Holt wide open, makes the catch, tacks on a couple of extra yards and an 18-yard completion from Bulger to Holt. And Mark Bulger, whether it's the ribs or worried about the protection, has missed on some throws so far today.
Yeah, and even that last completion there to Torrey Holt was not a real well-thrown ball, and if he was able to put that one where he normally does, and for a lot of quarterbacks you wouldn't think anything of it, but Mark Bulger is so accurate throwing the football that when he starts missing people, it raises your eyebrows.
Handoff is to Leonard, and Brian picks up 2. So then the question is, if the ribs are bothering him to the point where it's changing the play calling of Scott Linehan and Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, and it's affecting his throws. Here's an 0-3 team, Troy, and Gus Frerotte is there waiting, healthy and ready to go.
And Gus knows this offense. This is his 5th year with Scott Linehan, going back to Minnesota and then Miami, and now, of course, his 2nd year here with the Rams. I mean, he knows the offense. He can play. He's won a lot of games. But Bulger's still your guy. But I think they've got to take a look and see which one can help us win this game today.
Whistles and flags before the snap, a false start against St. Louis.
You go back and take a look at the previous play. DeMarcus Ware, they're trying to block him here with Kloffenstein, a tight end. And you see how that worked. I mean, there's just not a lot of guys that can block DeMarcus Ware one-on-one. And, he came into the league as a rookie. He was a defensive end. He learned the outside linebacker position. He's put on 15 pounds since he first got into this league. So now not only does he have great speed, but he's also got great strength, as we saw on the last play.
2nd down and 13. Quick setup and throw to Bennett, and there's nothing there. Reeves with a play out in space, a gain of 4. 3rd down and long coming up.
Well, and part of the problem there is Jock Reeves, number 35 for the Cowboys, is arguably their fastest player on the team. And now you put him on Drew Bennett, who is not 100%, and he's got a quad injury. You're not going to threaten him with any type of speed whatsoever, so Jock Reeves is just sitting on the route.
Anthony Henry went in for x-rays on his ankle, left earlier in the half. The x-rays were negative. 3rd down and 8. A blitz, a completion of McMichael, and a tackle to save a 1st down. Hamlin made the play. And it's 4th down for the Rams with their punt team on the field.
Well, it was a good play by Hamlin because the Cowboys brought the blitz and Bulger had to get the ball out of his hands. And so the guy who then is going to be the receiver is McMichael, and you're just hoping that even though you had to throw it short of the first down, that he can make somebody miss. And yet Hamlin was able to make a good tackle on a much bigger player in the open field.
When the Cowboys brought Hamlin in as a free agent from Seattle, it scrapped any plans they had of making Anthony Henry a safety. Henry was off to a great start and is off to a great start at corner. And Hamlin's played well at safety. Penalty flag on the punt, and a good punt by Donnie Jones. Justin Rogers came in and almost got a hand on the punt, and we'll check the marker.
Prior to the kick, holding number 45, offense. 10-yard penalty, will re-kick.
That's Chris Massey, the long snapper.
You know, it just seems, Joe, that when things aren't going well, then these are the types of things that happen with teams that are struggling. I mean, you've got a situation here where Donnie Jones is able to put it down inside the 10-yard line, but because of a hold. And all of a sudden it's coming back and they're having to redo it. I mean, the St. Louis Rams have done a pretty good job with their punt team and pinning them down in there. But this one now he's going to have to try to do it again.
.404 left in the half. And Jones hits a beautiful punt right into the end zone. It was pretty, but not as effective. 64-yard punt, but it's coming out to the 20. Romo back to the field, leading by 7.
Beth Ann, 3,000 texts last month.
NWRUS?
That wasn't a compliment. Sean, 1,000 texts?
UGH.
And you're old enough to know better.
MYOB, will you?
Grandma.
Mom, who could you be texting?
IDK, my BFF Rose.
Now get a texting plan the whole family can NJOY. AT&T brings your family unlimited messaging to anyone on any network. Now buy any phone and get up to 4 free. Singular's name is now AT&T.
With 175 horsepower and 32 miles per gallon, cars won't be the only thing you pass. The Nissan Altima, ranked #1 in owner satisfaction for fuel efficiency and performance.
It's the best night of drama on TV. Fox Tuesday. New cases. Same chemistry.
Probably male menopause. What? You're very testy. And 35. I'm only 35. Okay. Just keep the conversation up, shall we?
An all-new Rose, then the competition to work for House.
Did you forget how to count to 3? There's 40 people in there.
Is on.
Rodi, you're fired.
All-new House.
Were you and Rodi? Yes. Rodi is not fired. Rosie is fired.
It all starts Tuesday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Fox tonight. Brian is moving out, but Stewie won't be left behind.
I'm lonely.
Come get in bed with us.
Ooh, all right, dear Penthouse Forum.
All new Family Guy. Viewer discretion advised. Part of the wildest shows on earth. Tonight on Fox.
Seven to nothing. Dallas on top, starting at their own 20 with under 4 to play in this first half. Dallas offense has certainly been slowed after racking up 431 yards at Chicago last Sunday night. Romo with time, fires, completes. That's Witten. Picks up 8. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, Wade Phillips was a little worried about this game against his 3-0 Cowboys, against the 0-3 Rams being a bit of a trap game, but Dallas offensive guys are trying to ensure that it doesn't turn out to be that. I heard a couple of players going up and down the bench encouraging each other to say, he said rather, wake up. It is time for us to get this thing going. This game shouldn't be even this close. Back to you.
Yeah, and I think the Rams, to their credit, defensively have done a very good job here in this first half as Barber runs into a wall.
That was the rookie Ryan who made the play. He's playing well. Tino Isamoa was there too. Let's go out to Kurt for a game break.
All right, Joe, Bears and Lions, and Brian Griese making his first start as Chicago quarterback. It's paying off so far. We find Musa Muhammad for the score, and the Bears have the 7-3 lead late in the second quarter. Back to Joe, Troy, and Pam.
See those guys in the offensive huddle hugging Brian Griese. Thank you. 3rd down and 1. Handoff to Barber in the hole. Good play made. Tino Isamoa was in there. Witherspoon was in there. And it looked like, depends on the spot, it looked like, and he was, Barber was short.
Yeah, it was a great job interior-wise for the St. Louis Rams defensively. You see, they don't get pushed back, but it was Witherspoon, it looked like, got in there and made the initial hit that stopped Barber. Not easy to do. Witherspoon, not an overly physical middle linebacker. I mean, most of his game is predicated on speed. But to stand up Barber in the hole like that one-on-one, just a great play on his part.
Well, it's 4th down. And Romo is still on the field. Well, the ball is not even to the 30-yard line.
That's right. Now, we have seen Dallas do this in previous weeks. On 4th down, go for it. Now, whether Romo is going to maybe try to use hard count to draw the Rams off sides, but I cannot imagine them doing anything and running the ball here and taking a chance. I mean, all of a sudden you put the Rams right back into the game.
And as we say that, the switch is made and the punt unit comes onto the field for Dallas.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, what a great job by this Rams defense. And, you know, again, I'll say it, they've been good throughout this entire first half. To hold the Cowboys to 7 points is really pretty remarkable. And once again, the Rams offensively just have not been able to do anything.
Should end up, the Rams should, with good field position. They have a timeout left and over 2 minutes to play. McBriar hits a line drive punt. Dante Hall from the 15-yard line makes a move, gets a couple of blocks, still on his feet. McBriar in his way. Dante Hall on the loose to the end zone. There are no flags. Touchdown. Will Witherspoon made the play on 3rd down and a yard in the hole to stop the Cowboys short. And Dante Hall makes his presence felt with his first touchdown as a Ram.
That's the human joystick. I mean, they were talking about it, that maybe he had lost a step and wasn't quite the same return man, and he wasn't as dangerous as what maybe he had been a few years ago when he was making all those returns for the Chiefs. They showed a lot there.
Now Wilkins for the extra point, and it's 7-7. So now's the time where you as the analyst say, well, obviously the Cowboys should have gone for it on 4th down.
No. I mean, you're going to see here just a really good block coming in here from this part of the screen. And that is really what turned him loose, because it allowed him then to cut up inside and get going north and south. And then, of course, he was one-on-one on the punter. And Dante Hall shows what he's still got left.
Really, the last guy who had a shot at him was Bobby Carpenter, who's got a quad injury. Carpenter started the day tied. There's Carpenter there, 54, and special teams tackles. And once Carpenter couldn't get anything done, Dante Hall was gone, and that is his 6th punt return for a touchdown in his electrifying at times career. That's why the trade was made. It's something that the Rams haven't had really since they came to St. Louis. Their Super Bowl year, when they won it and beat Tennessee, they had a guy named Tony Horn returning kicks, and since he left, the Rams at returning punts and kicks, it really hasn't been much of a factor in any games. And now the Cowboys have let the Rams hang around. The Rams make a special teams play, and with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the half, it's a tie game.
Well, it's interesting, Joe. You know, Jimmy Johnson used to always tell us when we were playing that there's 3 phases of a game: offense, defense, special teams. You need to win 2 to have a chance. I think the Rams are winning defensively, and I think that they're winning on special teams. Offensively, obviously, they've struggled, but because they've done a good job in those other 2 areas, you know, here they are looking at a tie ball game.
Well, that Rams defense is going to go back to work. Bulger was just there to watch his team tie the game, and it's worth bringing that up again, what we said earlier about Bulger. Mark Bulger is an elite NFL quarterback, a Pro Bowl NFL quarterback who's injured with broken ribs, playing behind a makeshift offensive line. We just watched Dante Hall tie it. What a good play by Travis Minor on the stop of Tyson Thompson. And a return only of 18 yards. Tomorrow night on Fox, don't miss an all-new action-packed episode of Prison Break, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. So now the Cowboys start with it at their own 17. We're tied at 7.
And I think, Joe, this is when the Dallas Cowboys are most dangerous. I mean, they do a good job of mixing up the run and throwing the ball and all, but when you get into a situation like this, when they are going to throw the ball to get the ball down the field and try to come away with points for the end of the half, I just think that that's when Tony Romo and these skilled players, that's when they really excel.
Out of the shotgun, Romo fires to Witten, makes the catch. Picked up 5 on the completion. Dante Hall gives the Rams their first punt return for a touchdown since 2002. He's happy. McBriar, not so much.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Extreme power of Energizer Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery and high-tech devices. Energizer, keep going.
Only the Nissan Titan has a Utilitrack cargo system and the longest crew cab bed in its class. You choose the tie-down points, you choose the angle. Because Nissan thinks when you put something in your bed, it should stay there. The new 2008 full-size Nissan Titan. The Titan of trucks. Now get up to $3,500 Nissan cashback or 1.9% APR financing.
I work in the movies.
It's Monty?
Later. I'm a kind of star, I guess. I live in Hollywood, but I work on Broadway in New York. Thank you. In Tombstone, Arizona. A part of South America you might not have heard of.
Hi.
Hi, Klaus. And London, England. Hi, I'm in the middle of something. Right. So I need a network that works where I live. A place called Holyoke, South Maryland.
Monty.
Monty, what's the deal?
The new AT&T works in more places like Holyoke, South Maryland.
FedEx presents the Air and Ground NFL Players of Week 3. In a win over San Diego, Green Bay's Brett Favre threw for 369 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the record-tying 420th of his career. Philadelphia's Brian Westbrook ran for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 14 carries, leading the Eagles to a win over the Lions. Vote for the FedEx Air and Ground NFL Players of the Week at FedEx.com/football.
Pisa Tinoe Samoa, who has missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury, limped off moments ago. Don't know what it is, if it's the ankle again or something else below the waist. Remember, the Rams are playing today without Steven Jackson, with tear in his groin. 2nd down and 3. 2 minutes left in this first half, tie game. Romo with all day hits Barber, and he can't hang on. Witherspoon in coverage. It's 3rd and 3. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, Kurt, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league. The Fox Sports ticker will keep you updated with up to the second stats. And Troy and I were wondering if Howie maybe mixed up the Garanimals today, put an antelope with a giraffe, and got a zebra from the Roaring 20s. What was that outfit?
I like how you throw me in there. I like how you throw me in there with it.
Are you scared of Howie?
Well, a little.
Guys and dolls called. They want their costume back. 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun. Romo fires, hits Sam Hurd, and Sam Hurd is wrestled down with a Dallas first down. Jonathan Wade on the tackle, and a conversion on third down for Dallas.
Yeah, and a good tackle by Wade, because if he doesn't make the tackle, he's off to the races, and they brought pressure. What we've seen so far is that when the Rams only rush 4, which is what they're doing here, they can't get to Romo.
All day again for Romo, hits Barber. Witherspoon can't bring him down. Bartell finally knocks him out of bounds after a gain of 14.
You know, and that's what we've seen throughout this first half. The Rams, with the 4 defensive linemen, when they are the only guys that are rushing, they have not been able to generate any type of pressure on Tony Romo. And the Cowboys have entirely too many weapons, and Romo is too accurate of passer to allow him that kind of time to throw the football. So, I mean, you got to choose what you're going to do, but I think they've got to continually bring people and then just hope they can disrupt them, and then hopefully you can cover long enough on the back end.
They bring only 4 again. Barber out of the backfield. Witherspoon and Marion Barber have been hooked up on each of the last 3 plays, and that was good for 7 yards. Cowboys with all 3 of their timeouts left and plenty of time on the clock. We understand Pisa Tinoe Samoa left with cramps. He should return. That's Witten, the throw behind him. Chiller on the tackle. It's third down.
And whenever Dallas has stalled, it's had more to do with them just not executing as opposed to anything that the Rams have really done. Now, you know, this is a big third down right here. If the Rams are able to go in at halftime, you know, with a tie ball game, not giving up any points right here, that will be huge with their confidence coming out in the second half.
Dallas 3 for 8 on third down in this half. The Cowboys with 4 drops in this half as well. 3rd and 3. The snap over the head of Romo, and now it's a foot race. Romo can't get on top of it. Finally does. Will try and make something happen. Tony Romo doing his thing. First down, Dallas. Unbelievable.
Andre Gerard, the center, just snaps it clean over Tony Romo's head. And, you know, initially Romo can't even pick it up clean. You got 2 defenders there trying to go for the ball as opposed to Romo.
This is a 30-second timeout.
And Romo with the awareness of knowing where he's got to go to get to the first down. You don't think they'll be showing this clip for years to come, do you?
The legend just grew.
I mean, how embarrassed right now are the St. Louis Rams?
It was a 4-yard run taking the scenic route. And Terrell Owens is saying that's our guy. I really think that had as much to do with Grossman getting benched after last week as anything. I think they looked at Romo, the Bears, and they said, wait a minute. Every time we get anywhere near Romo, he slides, he steps up, he goes backward, he makes a play. And on the other side, Grossman was kind of a sitting duck there waiting for the Dallas defense to get to him. I don't see anybody that's doing what Tony Romo can do with his feet and make plays in this league.
Well, and I agree. As a matter of fact, I was talking with Brett Favre before our Week 2 game there, you know, when the Giants were playing the Packers, and Brett Favre said, hey, I was watching the Cowboys this week in preparation because they just played the Giants, and he said, I got to tell you, he says, I thought I was watching myself out there on film. And so there's a lot of comparisons between the two. Even Favre himself says that they're valid.
Extra men on the rush for St. Louis. Wide open is Crayton. Patrick Crayton making the moves. 19 yards.
You know, first it's Romo, now it's Patrick Crayton. He put a little Jimmy on Lenny Walls. I mean, Emmitt Smith didn't look that good on Dancing with the Stars.
And by the way, take that off your TiVo, will you? It's embarrassing.
Well, now it's Mark Cuban, right? How's he look? I know you've been watching.
Fantastic. First down, Dallas. 34 seconds. Still all 3 of their timeouts. Romo steps up, hits Witten. And the big tight end steps out of bounds with a Dallas first down, which is fine with Dallas. It stops the clock with 26 seconds.
Yeah, and you always get the feeling watching the Dallas Cowboys this year that, you know, they start off slow, and the second half is really where they've been most explosive. But it just seems like in the first half they kind of play with you a little bit. You know, they make you think you're doing a good job, and they're not executing like they're accustomed to executing. And then right now what we've seen is they're starting to heat up a little bit. And St. Louis, who was given a great opportunity to stall this drive with the errant snap, and now they're just hoping to keep Dallas from scoring a touchdown before the half.
Romo behind Terrell Owens. 23 seconds left. Just to back up what you were saying, and the Cowboys put the pedal down last week in the second half for Wade Phillips at Chicago. 86 points scored in the second half. Number 1 in the NFL by a mile. No other team scored more than 60. 23 seconds remaining. Second down and 10 from the 15. What a play. Chavis over the back. Got his right hand in and knocked it away from Sam Hurd. 3rd and 10.
You know, Leonard Little, you're going to see him on the outside here. He comes underneath Colombo, so that opens up the lane there for Romo to slide to his right. Now, he feels that. He's got great pocket presence and knowing where he can slide to buy himself the most amount of time. He put a good ball low, too, to give him a chance to make a play. Just good coverage there.
Chavis made the play. Phillips wanted the flag, didn't get it. Just get the play away. Romo steps up. Gonna run, and why not? Touchdown. To 7.
You know, you get so caught up in trying to cover Jason Witten out of the backfield and Terrell Owens and these other crossing routes that you're in man coverage, and the guy you can't account for then is the quarterback. And the only way to hold him in the pocket, again, is with those front 4. In man coverage, nobody is accounting for Tony Romo. He recognizes that and has an easy touchdown.
His second touchdown run of the season. Paging Jerry Jones, the price just went up.
And it continues to go up.
Romo is without a contract beyond this season. They can always franchise him. But first of all, Jerry Jones, and you know better than I, isn't scared of a little risk or a gamble.
You don't think?
No, not buying the Cowboys for $150 million and increasing the value of the franchise about tenfold.
You know, I've always said that Jerry Jones digests risk better than anybody that I certainly know.
Well, he has a little mini risk going on with a guy wearing number 9, because week after week, as we said, his legend continues to grow and that price continues to rise. He doesn't care. He's just looking at what he hopes is a 4-0 start. He'll pay when the time comes. Squib kick. Dante Hall already has 1 today on a punt. Looking for a gap. Hits the hole hard and has a good return. 4 seconds remain in the half, and the offense for the Rams will come out there and maybe take a shot, get a flag, or just take a knee and head to the dressing room down by 7.
Yeah, they're in that range to where you maybe could get it into the end zone. I think Bulger's got enough arm, but in order to make that throw 65 yards or so to get it into the end zone and give yourself a chance, you've got to hold the ball and you've got to get some protection. So, are the Rams going to be willing to risk another blow to the ribs there on Mark Bulger?
Dallas, just because they can and they had 3 left, they're going to use a timeout.
Yeah, why not? Go back to
what was that?
You're talking about Jerry Jones and not signing Tony Romo as of yet. There's no doubt in my mind that will get done. But I think back to last year in that Monday night game when they benched Drew Bledsoe. They brought Tony Romo in there in the second half. He was the starter. And in talking with Jerry Jones after that game, he said that he felt that the team had taken some steps backwards in going with an unproven quarterback at that position and at that point in the season. And little did anybody know that Tony Romo would go on and do the things that he has done both last year and then this year, and it's turned into not taking a couple steps backwards, but more like sprinting forward.
Yeah, well, this entire franchise on his back, because there have been 9 quarterbacks that had tried since you left. Saw Terrell Owens back there on defense, and Bulger will just take a knee. It's a 14-7 lead for the Cowboys at the half. Tony Romo doing it all with his arm, with his legs. We'll come right back on the other side of this break.
Next week on the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show, the guys break down Week 5 and get you ready for kickoff. Then you'll see Big Ben and the Steelers battle Alexander and the Seahawks. Or Peyton Manning and the Super Bowl champs taking on the Bucs. It's another slate of great NFL action next week on Fox NFL Sunday.
Swap your ride today at your local Ford dealer.
We went around swapping people's vehicles for 1 week. We didn't tell them we were from Ford. We told them it was market research.
I'm here today to swap out my Chevy Silverado for a Ford F-150. Seems like it's got the power and the torque to pull what I need to pull. The actual comfort of the ride itself was really impressive. I started getting into this vehicle more than my own truck.
Now get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash back on 2007 F-150 Super Crew. Visit your local Ford dealer or go to FordChallenge.com.
When a guy can't get his wahine to put some halakaheki all over his moa'u, then he's gotta go someplace else. The Hawaiian chicken sandwich with grilled pineapple, new at Hardee's.
Hey, I'm Frank, and today we're in my garage. Rick, what do we got planned?
Frank, we're pimping Brad's mower.
Sounds good. Okay, everything we need for this project is already on my Rubbermaid Fast Track wall. Jack, lube, air compressor.
All right, all set.
Hit the switch, Brad.
Okay, Frank.
Easy to install, versatile, Rubbermaid Fast Track. It's your garage. Own it.
Presenting the 263 horsepower Lincoln MKZ, rated highest in initial quality according to J.D. Power and Associates. Now joined by the fastest-selling luxury crossover, the Lincoln MKX, with its award-winning safety and panoramic Vista roof. Reach higher, and you're destined to reach the top. Now drive the innovative Lincoln MKX for $369 a month.
Well, a 14-7 lead for Dallas at the half. 2 big third down runs for Tony Romo on that go-ahead drive. One for the big first down, the other for the touchdown. 14-7, a little better game than you might have thought coming in, huh? Good second half coming up next from Irving.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL and the Visa Inside Pass NFL Sweepstakes.
The producers of American Idol strike again, but this time they're searching for the next great American band. Some will make the judges stand up and cheer.
It's the way that you move me that way.